What's up, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Marsh Pod. I am your guest host, Big Bob, from around the table, and unfortunately, Marsh could not be with us today. He's out there fighting hurricanes or something. I'm pretty sure he's a superhero. I can't confirm or deny it, but one thing I do know is I've never seen him and Superman in the same room at the same time, so take that with whatever you want to take it with. Jumping right into our topic, recruiting. The first official week of SimWorld Hoops recruiting is in the books, and week 2 started off with a bang. DJ Wagner, the #1 recruit in all of SimWorld Hoops, committed to the Originators over Gotham 5 and Run DMV. I know Coach Dodge, Coach Bellardi, and Coach Murray were really fighting for this kid, but he made the decision that he was going to leave home a little bit, head up north, and play for the Originators. I don't think it's a bad decision for him, as I think he's going to fit anywhere that he would have gone because he's just that good of a player. But Eric Nelson, the OG's point guard, in my opinion, is one of the best pure point guards in the entire league. And last season, he was in the top 5 in assists per game. He's a great facilitator, which I think is something that DJ Wagner is really going to thrive with. Again, Wagner is going to be good no matter what, but I think he's really good off the ball, and having a facilitator like Eric Nelson is going to make him really shine. Although Coach Bellardi and Coach Murray did miss out on DJ Wagner, and I'm going to throw in Coach King for the North in there as well, although they did miss out on Wagner, there's still a ton of talent out there on the board. Coach Bellardi has 2 spots that he still needs to fill. Coach Murray has 4 himself. And then Coach King, I don't really know, and I don't think I can keep up with how many spots he has open, as players seem to just be slowly funneling out of the North. I don't think that has anything to do with him, but at the same time, he still has all these spots to fill, but there is all this talent out there. Mackenzie Mbako, #1, he's still out there. Aaron Lovejoy, #4, he is still out there. CKC's brother, Darian Kinji Cross, he is still out there, although I think we all would assume that Coach Murray probably has the inside track on him just because of his relationship with CKC. So although these teams did miss out on Wagner, I do think that they still have plenty of opportunity to land a big star for themselves as well. Moving south a little bit, we do have Southeast Select and the Yacht Club still hanging around out there recruiting. With Southeast Select, Coach Lee, he has 3 spots himself that he needs to fill. He does have the reigning Junior of the Year, Trey Turner, on his team, which nobody's gonna shrug him off or anything. Like, he is a great player. If it wasn't for DJ Wagner, he would be #1 in the recruitings right now. But I do think that Coach Lee needs to bring in a star big for Turner, just to take some pressure off of Turner, so Turner doesn't feel like he needs to be the guy putting up 30-40 points a game, because I don't know if he is that player. He is great. I think he's going to put up 30 and 40 points a few times throughout the season. He's a great shooter. 30 points is not out of the question, but he's not a CKC type player, at least not right this second. I do think he can turn into that player, but we'll see whenever March 1st rolls around and the season starts. For the Yacht Club, new coach Marcus Laster, his team is full. I do think he needs to build his offense around Bianco. He could possibly cut somebody to make a little bit of room. That is an option. I'm not sure who that would be. But that being said, there is some talent down south that they can both be on the lookout for. Demario Duval II, he's #16. Leland Buckley, #24. They're still out there on the board. Coach Lee needs to make a run for one or both of them. There's a ton of talent down there. This is the world. There's just so much talent across the board that I think Coach Lee, Coach Laster really need to take a look at. Heading a little bit to the west, I'll be honest, I was never great with geography, so we're going to say a little bit to the west. We're going to go H-Town, Lone Star Basketball Club. H-Town has a new coach. Lone Star Basketball Club has a new coach. We got DeMarcus Fletcher, Buddy Delgado. H-Town, Coach Fletcher, he has 1 spot left. He really needs a star. They lost a lot of talent last season, and they really need to go out there and get that guy, because I don't think they have that. But they could potentially be like the Clippers from a couple years ago, where they didn't really have that guy because that guy was sitting on the bench for the entire season, because we're not going to get into that. Regardless, Coach Fletcher needs to get out there, get a star. JaMychal Pitt is out there on the board. He's number 30 in the recruiting rankings right now. It's also somebody that Buddy Delgado, Coach Delgado, could go out there and get for Lone Star basketball. They also have one more spot, but I think a big name would really put them over the top. There's just so much talent down there in the what do you want to call it, the western south, the southwestern part of America. There's just so much talent. They might even jump. There's some talent in Mexico they can probably bring over as well. That's not out of the question. We're going to do a little bit of a U-turn, I guess. Again, I'm not going to promise. I was terrible at geography. We're gonna head back to the middle-ish of America, beyond the arc. Tomas Kusa, Coach Kusa, he has 2 spots left. He does have Tyson Simpson, a big star. Thought there was going to be a drop-off with Golden Tate leaving. However, that clearly is not the case as Simpson has come in. David Duffy is also still there. Very, very good player. That's 2 people that I think he can really build around. And with his 2 spots, he can bring in pretty much anybody. For these teams that I'm going to talk about, we do have Kirby Ordway, number 11 in the recruiting rankings, Norman Nation, number 6, Samuel Balgus, number 17, and Shaquan Ingram at number 7. All of these 4 teams that I'm going to talk about now, those are really players that they should probably look at. But if all 4 of these teams are looking at them, there's other players out there just sitting, waiting for the phone call. So maybe a little bit of strategy. Let these other teams go talk to these higher ranked players, do a deep dive, do some scouting, look at some of these lower ranked players who are probably going to be really good, but people are overlooking them just because of a number next to their name. Jumping from beyond the arc, Coach Kusa's team, Heartland Zombies. We have Coach J6. He has 2 spots. He has a good player in Webb, but he does need someone to pair with Webb if he wants to make any noise this coming season. On top of that, Lake Shore Drive, Coach Brian Lovelace, he also has a star, Drake Harvell, but I think he needs a facilitator to help with Harvell. Harvell was a volume shooter, and I think that they need to keep the ball out of Harvell's hands until he is in the right spot. And that's why I think they need to go out there, grab themselves a facilitator, and really let Drake Harvell shine. Last team in that area, Indy Stripes, we got Coach David Storm. They have 2 spots left. Got Wilder. Wilder was a very good player, kind of up and down all season, but he was still, you could see the stardom just oozing out of him at times. You need another star. So you have to go out there, get someone to pair with him, really, really give him somebody where the load is not on his shoulders so that we can see just what type of player he really is. Swinging around somewhere in the other part of America, we're going to take a look at the Rocky Mountain Monsters and Coach Josh Robinson. They have 3 spots open right now. They do have, in my opinion, a very underrated player in Kenneth Gaffney. I believe that he is probably the top pure point guard in the league. He can do it all. He also has his brother coming in, which should help out him. There's going to be some familiarity there. They've probably been playing basketball together their entire lives, so it's going to be one of those. You're going to think they're psychic. They're going to know where each other is at all times, even if they're not looking at each other. But Rocky Mountain, there's a big name out there, Dalen Ballo. He is still out there. He's number 14 on the recruit rankings. I think that Coach Robinson may be smart to reach out to him, bring somebody in for Kenneth Gaffney to be able to also facilitate with. I said he's the best pure point guard in SimWorld hoops. So giving him somebody that he can pass the ball with, pass the ball to, would be really, really smart, and that just really is going to open up Gaffney's game. This was just a quick rundown of all the VU coaches, how many spots they have open on their team. If I felt like they needed something, I feel like I gave you guys a little bit of a hint, not trying to help anybody, just trying to help everybody. So get out there, get recruiting. Don't just sit there. The kids are not just going to walk onto your team without you reaching out to them. Reach out to them, hit up SimWorld Proxy, find out what's going to work to bring these kids to you, and just put the work in. Coach and player applications should be opening back up here by November 11th. Some things are getting worked on in the back end, but please make sure if you know anybody who would be a good coach, who wants to be a player, let them know. Let them know SimWorld Discord. Get them in here. Send them an invite. Have them check out SimWorld NBA on YouTube. Check out our games. But Marsh should be back next week. I hope so. Anyways, he is, again, I'm assuming, a superhero. So these hurricanes that he's fighting, it's really not a whole lot to him. If he's not back next week, we'll figure something out. Maybe it'll be me. You guys will let me know if you want me to ever come back whenever he can't make it. I'm sure of it. But until then, Marsh Pod out.